Once upon a time in the magical land of Pixie Hollow, Tinker Bell and her fairy friends were getting ready for bed. It had been a long day of spreading pixie dust and granting wishes, and they were excited for a good night's rest. But just as Tinker Bell was about to close her eyes and drift off to sleep, a sudden gust of wind blew through her window, causing her to sit up in surprise. She looked outside and noticed a trail of sparkling pixie dust swirling in the moonlight. Curiosity got the better of her, and she followed the trail through the enchanted woods. As Tinker Bell followed the trail, the pixie dust seemed to grow brighter and more magical. It led her to a mysterious glen, where she discovered an old, worn-out book lying among the wildflowers. Tinker Bell's eyes grew wide with wonder as she realized that this was no ordinary book. It was the Lost Storybook, filled with tales that had been forgotten over time. As she carefully opened the book, a shimmering light escaped, and suddenly, Tinker Bell found herself surrounded by characters from long-lost stories. There were brave princesses, mischievous elves, and talking animals, all waiting for their stories to be told again. Tinker Bell decided that she couldn't leave the book and its characters without restoring their stories. She called upon her fairy friends to help her. Rosetta, the garden fairy, used her flower magic to bring the pages back to life. Silvermist, the water fairy, added a touch of her dewdrop water to make the illustrations sparkle once more. Fawn, the animal fairy, enlisted the woodland creatures to provide sound effects for the stories, making them come alive. One by one, Tinker Bell and her friends delved into each story within the Lost Storybook. They journeyed through dark forests, climbed towering mountains, and swam in sparkling oceans. They laughed with the characters and cried when they faced challenges. With the help of Tinker Bell's tinkering skills, they even fixed broken storylines and created happy endings. As the last story was read, the Lost Storybook began to disappear. The characters smiled in gratitude, knowing that they could return to their tales once again. Tinker Bell and her fairy friends bid them farewell, promising to cherish their stories in their hearts forever. With a final sprinkle of pixie dust, Tinker Bell closed the Lost Storybook and returned home. She settled back into her cozy bed, feeling fulfilled and overjoyed. She realized that even though she had given the characters their stories back, they had given her something in return: the magic of imagination, friendship, and the power of a good night's story. And so, as Tinker Bell drifted off into a peaceful slumber, she whispered with a smile, "Good night, Lost Storybook. Sweet dreams and happy tales to you." And dreams of magical adventures filled her night, knowing that the power of storytelling would always be cherished in Pixie Hollow.